Well, hey there, everybody. It's Mrs. Asaro, and I'm here to teach your class about character analysis. Before we get into the lesson, I just wanted to briefly introduce myself to you. My name is Mrs. Asaro, and I am an online teaching. I was a teacher for 34 years. Teaching language arts was my passion. This lesson is a mini lesson, which means it's very concise and you'll be super clear on what you need to know by the end. This presentation, along with guided notes, are available to print in my TPT store. The link is in my video description. If you're using the guided notes, and you don't have to, but if you are, you'll use them when you see a page with this icon in the upper right-hand corner. If your teacher lets you work with a partner, you'll turn and talk in certain portions. I hope you find this helpful, and let's dive in. So let's talk what a mentor text is. It's always good to have a mentor text to refer to when learning skills. It doesn't have to be in writing, however. Using songs is a great way to learn. For this lesson, we will examine the song Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Your teacher may prefer for you to use something different. If so, if you're taking notes, just substitute in whatever your teacher wants you to use. So you're going to pause my video and click on Belle. It's about 5 minutes long. While you're watching, pay attention to what Belle says, does, feels, and thinks. This will let you know more about her character. The link is in the video description. So you're going to pause and take a listen and come on back here. Okay, so we will revisit with Belle in a little bit. For now, let's talk about why do we need to know about characters. There is no doubt that you have been reading and listening to stories, poems, and songs. Hopefully, this is something that you have enjoyed. Learning to dig a little deeper into the text by examining characters leads us to a better understanding of the story. Understanding characters is a gateway to understanding theme, which is the message the author is trying to tell us. So with characterization, let's get on board. Today's goal is to understand that we can get to know characters by examining what they say, do, think, and feel. Today we'll go over some of the ways we can infer character traits. We will also discuss what is going on outside and inside of a character and how that influences them. So if you take a look at characters' thoughts, feelings, actions, and dialogue, that will lead you to understand their character trait, which will equal an understanding on a deeper level. Okay, here's our first guided note icon. Okay, so what are character traits? Character traits are those qualities that make a person an individual. An author may develop a character's traits by describing how they look, letting us know what they think, what they say, how they feel, and their actions. So for example, in the video, Belle looks very pretty, but she is simple. She is dressed modestly. She's not fancy. This lets us know that one of her character traits might be that she is humble. So I made a chart of some common character traits. These are just some examples. There are many, many character traits. I divided it into character traits that are positive, negative, kind, unkind, and some kind of miscellaneous and other character traits. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'll just read a couple. In the positive column, things like patient, humble, responsible. In the negative column, untrustworthy, immature, reactive. In the kind column, caring, encouraging, polite. In the unkind category, selfish, unsupportive, rude. and other miscellaneous ones such as confident, insecure, needy, hardworking. Okay? So now you're going to try it. You're going to think about yourself. Turn and talk to your partner about one of your character traits. Discuss specific evidence for your character trait. So, for example, if you are stubborn, the evidence could be the time that you've refused to back down from your sister in a recent argument. I really want you to notice the word specific here. I didn't just say that my example is that I never back down. I gave a very specific time of when I was stubborn. Okay? If you have guided notes, you'll fill them in together for what is one of your character traits. What specific evidence do you have to prove it? Pause my video and turn and talk. Let's talk now about determining character traits. As we stated, an author may develop a character's traits by describing how they look, letting us know what they think, what they say, how they feel in their actions. Let's look at a very famous character that everybody knows, I think. Everybody knows Santa Claus, right? So, how he looks. How does he look? He looks plump and dressed in red. A possible character trait is that he's fun-loving. What he thinks all kids need presents. A possible character trait is that he is generous. What he says, ho, ho, ho. You knew that was coming, right? Possible character trait, he's jolly. How he feels happy on Christmas Eve. Possible character trait, he is joyful. His actions, he goes down chimneys. Possible character trait, he is a problem solver. So now you're going to try it. You're going to think now about Belle. You can also use whatever mentor text your teacher prefers. Turn and talk to your partner about what Belle thinks, feels, says, and does. Now note, because it's a song and we're in the world of musical theater here, we know what she is thinking when she is alone, even though she is singing it. So you want to look at those parts where she's alone and singing, and that lets us know what she is thinking. Okay? Then you're going to discuss what character traits you can infer from this list. If you have guided notes, you'll fill them in together. So, for example, Belle returns her library book. That would be something that she does. Okay? Then we can infer that she is responsible. So pause my video and discuss what she thinks, feels, says, and does. Okay, let's take a look at outside and inside of characters. So another way to examine a character is to look at what is going on outside and inside of them. Let's continue with our example of Santa Claus. So on the outside, what's happening around him? Toys are being made, cookies are being left, there's reindeer to prepare, and a sleigh to pack. Inside, so when we talk about inside, we're talking about how he feels mentally and emotionally, okay? He's feeling pressure to get everything done. He's feeling happy about his job. He's getting mentally prepared. So you're going to a two-part discussion here. First, you're going to turn and talk with your partner about one thing that's going on outside of Belle and one thing going on inside of Belle. And what can you infer about her from that? Then, for the second part, you're going to discuss one thing going on outside and inside of you. Listen to what your partner says. What can you infer about your partner? So, for example, outside of me, the math test is tomorrow. Inside of me, I am concerned that I will do poorly. I can infer that I am nervous. If you have guided notes, fill them in together for outside, inside, what you can infer first for Belle and then for you. Pause my video and turn and talk. And that's a wrap. Be sure to tune back in for more Teach My Class episodes. You can also check out my first chapter Friday on my YouTube channel, where I'll read the first chapters of my favorite middle school novels. Hope to see you soon.